Hi everyone, this is Kabi and today we are watching the game from the new tournament called Two Strongholds on the map Wanderer's Bridge, and we have quite a good players. As Light will be playing Fear, player from Kazakhstan, and the Dark player will be the Veteran from the Eastern Europe currently, I think. And well, let's see how the strong players among the best actually play this new mode. I must admit it, I didn't play this mode a lot. Apart from our internal test, I think I only played it once, so I'm curious what are the top players gonna be up to. I've heard that quick bombers is quite a strong strategy in this mode, because you can actually snipe the enemy's soul mill very early on, even before the enemy is even capable of doing anything. But the Veteran decided to go the other thing, and we can see both players start with a very quick cavalry. So Fear plays Knight, as the Veteran plays the Varg Rider, so they're apparently going to harass, and at the same time Scout. Well, obviously, as we didn't make a wall in this mode, it is quite vulnerable. I mean, your mining line to the harassment, things like that. And also, you wanna be getting the quick air units, because they can cut this type of activities. In that very game I played against Tikarion, I also decided to play the quick aeronauts, actually, because aeronauts, as just as the copters too, have the very short production time, so you can really spam those out really quickly. They are obviously also quite vulnerable to the anti-air units, but if you level up those guys a little bit, especially I feel like it is especially aeronauts, they can be kinda decent with some ground support, but we don't see really these players spamming the aviation. Rather than that, they try to get a little bit of mining force back, also getting more cavalry for Veteran. And what about Fear? He actually switched to the meta. So that is the Elven deck. Yep, healers sometimes decide to lag behind because they want to heal the workers. They suppose that the workers are the units too, so they kinda need a good treatment. Well, so it is, I think, the common thing on this map where you just barter the chests, because even though they are kind of close to each other, the map is so short that it is still, well, the enemy's chest is still quite far in terms of percentage, so it's not really that important how close or how far some object is from you. It is more important the percentage is. So what it is from you to there, comparing to from there to the enemy, you know, and from one position to the other. So even though one chest is close to other, but it is even closer to the enemy, so that is more important. This map is still quite interesting in terms of how short it is, but at the same time the actual distance between the two bases are not that short. It is very limited in terms of rotations, of course, and it is something I don't like about any map in the game. I strongly prefer the map where you can rotate a lot different ways, but it is obviously just not possible. Well, maybe we can kinda add the pathway here. I wonder how good the map could be played if we do this, by the way. Maybe we can discuss it with the level designers someday, but well, currently it's not here, right? Alright, so one more Varg Rider facing up an artillery tower here. It is mostly against the drills. I think the veteran is famous for playing his drills out, so this is why Fear must be protecting his... It's just not that common that on the 5th minute mark you already have that, but well, we have the base from the beginning in this mode. By the way, I heard an idea that probably we can try the arena substitution based on this mechanic when you have the base already set up. I'm not sure if that's really a great idea, because it's not kinda guaranteed that games like this will be ending quickly. So the arena must be the blitz mode. That always ends really quickly unless player just idle, not capturing any obelisks. And in this mode is not guaranteed at all. I can kinda start sitting defensive mode, spamming out catapults, so what you gonna do? But if we add obelisk in this mode, then just kinda instead of the portals. I don't know if that's a great idea, just sharing with you guys. That it's kinda not impossible, even though it's obviously not the priority, because the priority is a global release right now, so we'll rather use the level designer's time for the new campaign chapters, the new tournament modes right now. But in the future, we probably need to develop the arena too. So anyway, Veteran tries to push. Fear decided to use the protection scroll, something I tend to forget about, honestly. Yeah, also the move I love recently is stunning the Fox Riders with the Eater, because Fox Riders are so powerful that you feel that stunning them is even more important than stunning the heroes, especially if you can catch 2 or 3 at the same time, because players usually micro them with a single group. Obviously it's just too hard, they're so quick, it's hard to micro them individually, so apparently you can catch them. Yeah, but here Fox Rider being used. By the way, I wonder if it is a new balance or still the old one. Apparently still the old one, because the Fox Rider is very swift. Currently the rotation speed is lowered. This is why it is not that easy to micro this way anymore. But Fox Rider is still quicker than the other cavalry, so they still have advantage in this regard. Yep, I'm not sure what's... Oh, it is a drill. Yep, the drill is dragging the attention. It is 7 foot, dragging out the 14 foot, making it stay in the base, so that's really good cooked stuff. Fear decided to use the meteorite. Veteran did a great job moving one drill away, the other was on the edge, so didn't receive a lot. But at the same time, Fear really has a lot of stuff here, and the Veteran doesn't really know how to deal with it. Fear has a great levels on the archers. Veteran seemed to me like being a little bit behind in this regard, and as the map is so short, and also the pace is very kind of quick. He cannot really spam his drill out as he would probably like to. But, well, when this mod just went out, a lot of people said like it is the dark mode, like the dark faction is imba here. We don't see it in this particular game yet. Also, the summoning stone announced. Nobody rotating here yet. And the Veteran decided to add the catapult rather than the drills. That might be an answer to the fact that Fear switched to the bikers and the Fox Riders at the same time, so the very mobile army and drills cannot really catch up with those in terms of the mobility speed, or rather just speed and mobility. And anyway, it is also the second Goblin Lab. I wonder if it's gonna be the Rocketeers. The Racketeers kinda do not make sense about those units I mentioned, but at the same time, well, it might be just for the Napalm Tower to protect the mana well. It is what the strong players do recently, so they just casually upgrade their Goblin Lab to be able to build the second tower at least. It also increases the regeneration speed dramatically, so you can kinda try to use the regeneration from the Goblin Lab. If you upgrade it, it becomes way more efficient. Well, it is with the Elemental that Fear pushing the Veteran base right now. Elemental is great at actually dumping the damage, right? Tanking the towers in the first place. So Fear decided to pull back a little bit from the Eater. He doesn't really want to lose anything to it. I don't feel like he would lose anything, by the way. I feel like the hero that Eater would stun would be just tanking while everything else would kill the Eater, but he decided not to be risky. There is also the Catapult who can deal the damage. I'm not sure what his worker is up to, probably repairing the drill. It is not safe, but at the same time I was wondering all the way, oh, does Veteran actually have the repair set? Because repairing looks very quick to me. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but there is a set of equipment for the workers that make the repair faster. So back in the day some players were whining like they're unlucky getting this equipment, it is useless, I wanna have something else. But now players with the rushes and building the tower, for example, they showcase how this set is very useful in some scenarios. So you just kinda need to adapt. If you have anything, you need to try to abuse it, you know. Try to use it for your strategizing. So if you have a repair set, probably you wanna try repairing it better. Considering the fact that we always, or not always, but often float very high in the wood count, right? So you don't even need those workers chopping wood anymore. So you can kinda take a few with you in the fight, making the auto repair for your units. It's not that easy to micro those because we don't select the workers. By the way, I wonder if we can make the setting that will select all the workers that are idling. What do you think about that? So if the workers are not assigned to anything and not mining, you choose them with the select button. I feel like it could be useful for taking the workers along to repair. It's not even hard to do, by the way. So again, tell me what you think in the comments. I can arrange that for you guys. This poor worker died though, but workers are cheap and they replenish really quickly, and also if you lose a little bit of workers you can kinda substitute them with the battle units and just have more units in the moment. And then if you run out of wood you can kinda make more workers again. So here comes the snowstorm, and it seems that Veteran completely runs out of steam, doesn't have any more to fight, to put up against the Fear. Well, so what I must admit is that the pace is so quick that it is even hard to... So it kind of very tactical. It almost not even RTS, what I perceived. So this mod is very different, especially on a short map like this. I can't wait to see then also the next edition of the tournament, where I think we will add the different maps. Maybe one short, one medium size and one big size, to see how it may work and how it changes the pace. I mean that we have the base from the beginning and stuff like that, but well, it is interesting at the same time because it is something else. So the third thing I want to hear from you guys, if you enjoy this mod, if you have a chance to play it so far, and well, we're gonna wrap it up. I think we discussed enough topics. So thank you for watching, thank the guys for sharing the battle, and see you next Sunday.